All right, man. I've come to the conclusion that the NBA has literally made no sense since 2018. And when I say it makes absolutely no sense, I mean the sequence of events literally could not have been predicted in the slightest. And I'm talking about everything. Trades, injuries, splits, super teams, reunions, everything. The entire NBA is completely unpredictable now. And with next year being the craziest free agency maybe ever, it's only gonna get worse. Now, before we get into this video, and trust me, it's really gonna make you think about the roller coaster ride we've gone through in just 3 years. I wanna get into today's video sponsor, a great friend of the channel, Manscaped. Now, today I wanna talk to you guys about their brand new clean Lawnmower 4.0. Now, as I told you guys in the past, the Lawnmower 3.0 was cool because it was waterproof, it did have skin-safe technology to prevent nicks and cuts and all that stuff, and it did have an LED light. But the 4.0 gives you all of those fan favorite features and major improvements. The 4.0 can now be charged wirelessly now with up to 90 minutes per use, and bruh, it's gonna take a long time to use 90 minutes of a razor, trust me. Also, the 4.0 comes in clutch with a whole new travel lock, something you will appreciate when you want to go. Also, you have complete control of how you want your stuff to look. It comes with 5 optimized cutting lengths and 2 additional guards so you can kind of maneuver what you want it to look like. If you want to try this out for a discounted price, use my promo code SWISH and get 20% off and free shipping. Big shout out to Manscaped for always looking out for the channel and blessing my guys' hygiene. Now let's get into this video.
Would you like to finish your quiz as well?
Yeah, sure.
Breaking news! It is the watershed Riverwalk moment that Spurs fans have been fearing for a while. Kawhi Leonard wants out of San Antonio.
It's less than an hour since you guys walked off the floor. I've already counted 3 times that people have asked you what you think you're going to do this summer for free agency. I'm sure it's been more than that. How are you going to start the process of figuring out what you want to do next?
Celebrate a little bit, and I don't know right now. I'm gonna just take it day by day.
Well, Kawhi Leonard has made his decision just minutes ago. Our Adrian Wojnarowski reporting that Kawhi Leonard is going to join the Clippers.
As you guys can see in that clip, it all starts in 2018 for me. A player who most thought would actually retire a Spur almost inexplicably demanded a trade after not liking how the Spurs handled his quad injury. Remember, this is a team who made a 20-year dynasty off of treating their players conservatively and giving them the proper rest they needed, so this was odd. As I showed you guys in the beginning, Kawhi said he wanted to be a Spur long term, and 4 months later, he ended up here. Kawhi gets sent out of the country, damn near like a punishment for him to at least suffer for 1 year, and he happens to win the Toronto Raptors their first championship in NBA history. Then 2 weeks later, after winning the finals and the finals MVP, this man proceeds to leave them, making that the first time a finals MVP has ever left his team right after winning the championship, so that was odd. Also in 2018, the Celtics, they were like the most unlucky team of all time with injuries, yet they somehow still made the Eastern Conference Finals and was 1 game and 1 LeBron crazy performance shy of making the NBA Finals again. In that first round, they actually beat the Milwaukee Bucks without Kyrie and Gordon Hayward, so obviously we're thinking their future, bro, when they get Kyrie and Gordon Hayward back, it's going to be dumb bright. But somehow, going into the following season, at least the predominant favorites to win the East, they go from beating the Bucks in 7 games without their 2 best players to losing to them in 5 with a fully healthy roster. Also in 2018, the Warriors, bro, they won their 3rd title in 4 years, and this was a point in time where we just thought, man, the Warriors, they're going to dominate for at least the next 2 to 3 seasons, especially after they got Boogie. Like, once they got Boogie, all bets were off. But in the midst of the following season, Kevin Durant and Draymond, they get into a heated argument live on TV and during a game, and Kevin Durant ultimately decides to leave after not even really being able to defend his back-to-back finals MVPs. Never forget, the last time we seen Kevin Durant in a full finals game playing the whole game, he did this and he won the finals MVP. He never even got to back that up. Consequently, Kevin Durant's injury, it led to other players having to step up and play bigger roles. Specifically, Klay Thompson. Bro, this man was playing out of his mind when Kevin Durant went down. But ultimately, his efforts, it led to him tearing up his knee during a contract year. Also in 2018, Paul George shocked a good amount of people when he decided to stay with Russell Westbrook and Oklahoma City for at least the next 4 years. And it looked like it was working at least a little bit. Russell Westbrook, he was averaging his career high in assists at that specific moment and his least amount of shots since Kevin Durant left. Paul George was having a crazy month, an MVP type of season. I'm showing y'all right now, like the stuff he was doing. It seemed like it was working at least a little bit. But one shot and one play literally made this the last time we seen those two players in that jersey. And after just one season in his new OKC contract, Paul George forced a trade and finds himself in LA with Kawhi now. Also, this led to Russ, a player I thought would damn near retire in OKC. This led to him playing in 3 jerseys in 2 calendar years, literally. 5 games into the 2020 season, we went from watching what looked to be the most craziest, dynastic, unfair team maybe ever to having the 3 best players on that team out for the season. Easily the fastest, craziest, drastic fall from grace I've literally ever witnessed. Also, the defending champions, they didn't even feel like the defending champions because they lost their final MVP, so it just didn't feel right. Nevertheless, even with all this movement and all these changes, at least we were supposed to get this big LA showdown with the Clippers and Paul George and Kawhi and the Lakers with LeBron and AD. That pretty much is what the NBA presented us. Then entering the calendar year of 2020, we just get hit, like rocked, blindsided by the untimely passing of Kobe and his daughter Gianna. I remember watching or getting ready to watch the Pro Bowl, and that just happened. It didn't even feel real. Unfortunately, we did have to fight through that tough ass time, and it was tough. And the NBA looked like it was heating back up on March 8th. We thought, like bare minimum, we were getting like a preview of the Western Conference Finals. That's the type of energy that game had, and the playoffs, it was right around the corner, so obviously we were all excited. But then just 5 days later, bruh, we get hit with this pandemic and the entire world shuts down. And I don't watch too many other leagues outside the NFL, but I don't think it hit any league harder than the NBA. Like I just don't. I think the NBA suffered the most consequences from this pandemic. During this time of like extreme boredom, and like March and early April, it was the worst. We get saved by this Michael Jordan documentary. Think about this time, bro. Like, take yourself back to this time. This was literally a time where everybody was sitting around their TVs on Sundays waiting for old footage where we already knew what the hell happened, like it was the NBA Finals live. That's how desperate we were. And I ain't gonna lie, it carried us. It was great. Then after 4 months, the NBA comes back in Orlando, where these players were pretty much expected to come back and resume where they were after a literal offseason's worth of time. And it was weird. It had no fans, no atmosphere, and we had to watch these games that literally looked like scrimmages. The Miami Heat, they stunned everyone and make the NBA Finals as a 5th seed. The Clippers, they fold a 3-1 lead, and the Lakers, they win the NBA championship all the way in October. That Lakers Heat Game 6, bro, that was the NBA Finals with 2 of the biggest brands the league has to offer. One of the biggest brands this sport has ever seen, LeBron, on the biggest brand in the sport, the Lakers. And he was about to win his 4th championship, yet the game got doubled by a Week 5 Seahawks versus Vikings game. That's crazy. That late-ass ending to the season ultimately resulted in an early start to the 2021 NBA season, and the Lakers and the Heat got the shortest rest time from any league's history after winning a championship. Then going into this season, where things are expected to look at least a little bit normal. We get the Warriors back with Steph and Clay, Kevin Durant comes back, like it looks a little bit normal. Then we get rocked by another Klay Thompson injury, officially making him the richest rehabber of all time. Get well, Klay, bro, we missed the hell out of you. And unfortunately, this was like the start of a weird ass, annoying ass trend for the 2021 NBA season. Literally, in this NBA playoffs, every single series has had at least one significant injury except the Knicks and the Hawks. And I mean every single one. Every single series has had at least one injury. And I ain't talking about like little injuries or little players that really don't mean nothing. I'm talking about players that contribute huge to their teams. We literally went from probably having the most predictable era of basketball ever from 2015 to 2018 when LeBron and the Warriors met 4 straight times to now having the most sporadic, random, you can't even guess it era of basketball ever. Like whose predictions actually came to fruition? Nobody's. I will not be surprised, like, at all if Kawhi ups and leaves the Clippers. Like, I wouldn't be surprised at all. He did it to the Raptors, so why wouldn't he? The 2022 free agency is going to be even more crazy, so who knows? If you guys like this video, Like I said, this was just on my mind. I know it's a little bit different, but I was just watching Cameron Payne versus Reggie Jackson in Game 1 and Game 2, and I was like, bro, this is crazy. I'm enjoying the new teams, but the fact that all the teams we thought were really going to win are eliminated specifically because of injuries, that's just weird, bro. It's really a battle of health. Like I said, if you like this video, follow all my social media sites, turn on post notifications, do all that great stuff, guys, and until next time, as always, stay tuned.